Life takes its turns and sometimes you are met with something quite unexpected. Imagine soaring through vibrant skies, delivering packages to whimsical characters, and discovering secrets in a charming animated world. In this case, it's Mika and the Witch's Mountain. I was lucky enough to receive a game key for this game, so big thanks to the developers for that. I really appreciate it. After spending some time with the game and completing it, I'm excited to share my personal experiences and thoughts with you. So let's dive in. One of the first things that struck me about Mika and the Witch's Mountain was its stunning visual style. The cel shading is reminiscent of Studio Ghibli films, and it immediately brought to mind the vibrant world of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. I couldn't help but smile as I explored the beautifully colourful world as I flew across the map. The game's art style feels like a love letter to some of my favourite Ghibli movies and animations of a similar vein, and it truly created a warm and inviting atmosphere. I recently rewatched Kiki's Delivery Service, and I can't help but think that this is the perfect complement to such a comforting and delightful film. Saying that, I find that although both the film and game have their similarities, Kiki and Mika are more different than you think. In this game, you play as Mika, a young witch who is being chucked off the top of the mountain and lands on a small island below, breaking her broomstick in the process. You must learn what it is to be a witch and improve your skills by helping the town by delivering packages. Earning money will also help you upgrade your broomstick in order to get to the top of the mountain and prove your worth. Playing the game was like stepping into a cozy little world. The core mechanic, delivering packages, seemed simple at first, but it quickly became clear that there was more depth to it. I enjoyed how each delivery felt like a small adventure, but as time went on, I felt there was little to no consequences. I should mention that if you deliver your packages too wet or damaged in any way, you have to start the journey again. Navigating through different areas and searching for collectibles dotted around the island was nice though, as I have to admit the map is gorgeous. Deliveries were far from difficult most of the time, but if I did mess up, I could easily restart by holding down a button. There's a particular joy in flying through the skies, discovering new characters and unlocking shortcuts along the way. Each character felt somewhat unique in design and attitude, which made the game more charming than expected. That said, the controls can be finicky. Maneuvering your broomstick can feel awkward and without direction, somewhat unresponsive. Flying on Mika's broomstick can take some time to get used to, and landing or navigating through tight spots can be challenging. The lack of minimap was a relief while exploring, but a bit of a pain when actually doing a delivery, as most, if not all NPCs, weren't actually where they were on the map when zooming in and out. After a while though, I discovered that using a controller made a significant difference. This made for a much smoother experience. I opted to use a Switch Pro controller rather than an Xbox or PlayStation one, as the controls tab seemed to showcase that controller in particular. This improved the experience, yes, though I did find the button mapping to be a bit all over the place initially. Despite these control issues, the world of Mika was captivating and the game's greatest strength. Each environment is brimming with colour and has completely different vibes. There's the bustling town, beautiful waterfalls, and even a musty and smoky industrial site. The game creates a visually immersive experience and is certainly a feast for the eyes. The NPCs are mostly delightful, each with their own stories and quirks which add more depth to the world. I enjoyed interacting with some of these characters and learning more about their lives, but mostly this only helped along with deliveries and lost items. I didn't find much of the dialogue repetitive, which was something I found refreshing for such a small game. Now, for fans of Chibik Studio, Mika and the Witch's Mountain feels like a delightful reunion. The game is set in the same universe as their previous titles such as Summer and Mara. Characters like Koa, Brahm and Sandy from Summer and Mara make appearances, as well as Mun from Ancora Lost Days. It's always fun to spot connections between any game, and it adds a layer of enjoyment. Even though I've only played Summer of Mara, it was a bit of a nice throwback nonetheless. I have to admit, the game's length was a bit of a shock for me though. Mika and the Witch's Mountain is on the shorter side, clocking at just under 5 hours, which includes finding most of the collectibles and all lost items. I found this disappointing, as just as I was getting into the rhythm of the deliveries and uncovering secrets, the game just wrapped up. I felt the first 2 acts of the game were quite slow and tutorial-esque, so I was just eager to get started on the everyday deliveries. However, once they were done and the rest of the game opened up, it finished far quicker than I anticipated. While I appreciated the charming experience, I found myself wishing for more content. Thankfully, as the game is in early access, this might mean a potential future for updates and expansions to extend the adventure. I'll be keeping everything crossed that there's more. So, is Mika and the Witch's Mountain worth the time? Yes and no. If you're looking for a cozy game that captures the whimsical magic of Kiki's Delivery Service with a splash of Wind Waker style visuals, this game is a must-try. If you're in search for a cozy game not focused on farming and more on fetch quests and pleasing aesthetics, this game is definitely worth your attention. However, if you're looking for a game with replayability and more on the challenging side, then I suggest you save your money. As harsh as it sounds, the game has room for a lot of improvement, but I'm hoping with it being on early access that it'll be worth the money later on down the road. Don't get me wrong, it's a lovely game, but I think it's only worth playing during short live streams or as a mini gaming session. Shorter games like Snufkin manage to hit the mark with the same playtime, but Mika falls short in my opinion. With promising updates on the horizon though, Mika's adventure might just be the beginning of something truly great if the studio are able to succeed. Something I genuinely hope the studio achieves in the future. While Mika and the Witch's Mountain has its quirks, like the control challenges and its relatively short length, it also offers a unique and heartwarming experience, so don't let that overshadow your time with the game. It offers a unique and laid-back experience that stands out from the typical farming or cozy games, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for it. Mika and the Witch's Mountain is available now on PC via Steam and Nintendo Switch. Other console gamers will have to wait a little bit longer though, as the game is set to be launched on PS4 and PS5 in late 2024 and on Xbox Series X and S around the same time. Make sure to mark your calendars and get ready to explore the magical adventure though. Thanks again for joining me on my time with Mika and the Witch's Mountain. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more honest reviews and other lovely content. I'd really love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you played the game yet? What did you think of it? If so, what would you like to see in future updates? In the meantime, thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Bye!